All right, I'm gonna start with verse 3. The husband must fulfill his marital duty to his wife with goodwill and kindness. I'm reading from the Amplified Version. And likewise, the wife to her husband. The wife does not have exclusive authority over her own body, but the husband shares with her. And likewise, the husband does not have exclusive authority over his body, but the wife shares with him. Do not deprive each other of marital rights, except perhaps, by mutual consent for a time, so that you may devote yourselves unhindered to prayer, but come together again so that Satan will not tempt you to sin because of your lack of self-control. And I read from verse 3 to 5. From verse 3 to 5. And I mean that we know it's biblical. You don't, Father Jesus, you don't deprive who you've come in covenant with. And it won't be a difficult situation. It won't be a challenging situation when God has ordained that thing. And I mean, like, even, you know how, like, they get on my nerves and even when your husband or your wife may have, done something that you didn't necessarily care for, or whatever the case may be, when God has prepared you for who it is that he has for you, there is a level of grace that you have with that person that you may not even understand. You may not even understand how much grace you have for that person and how much patience that you have for that person until you have been placed in position to be able to be mean, to be hurtful, even in covenant, because we know it happens in marriages where, wives have done some heinous things and husbands have done some, heinous things as well. But when you're in a position to do that, when you have been placed in a position to do that, and you act in love, like, did I just say that? Did I just do that after they did this? And he gives you that grace for that person, regardless. And I can, for one, say, having a very transparent moment, God rest his soul, but the person who I was in the longest relationship with which was my older son's father. I knew we were fornicating, but we were in a relationship for 5 years, and I knew in his mind that marriage was on, it was the next step. And things happen and life is life, and bless God, my what if just was cut short. We weren't together when he passed away, but whatever. But during the time that we were in a relationship, I can honestly say that even in the times that he made me angry, and not to say that I should have been doing it, but I didn't. I didn't deprive him of anything, and I know that in that situation, had we, practiced a little self-control, maybe, what happened, in the relationship, it may have turned out different. Who knows? But I say, if I can do that in a relationship that was outside of what God really wanted, you know what I'm saying, as far as like how things were happening. I'm not going to say that he was a bad, mate for me or anything like that, because he wasn't, but it's just that we were doing things outside of how God would have wanted it, as far as like not being married, you know. So if I could do it before the marriage, I'm very sure that in the marriage, and especially with the growth I've that I've gone through, I know definitely with the person that God has for me to come into covenant with in marriage, whenever he decides to allow that to manifest, that I'm definitely going to be in a place to receive that person and have grace with them. I've gone through a lot. He's definitely tested me in this season for sure. And you know, when God is allowing you to, when God has allowed you to be tested in such a way to where it has literally broke you, you have to understand that what he does have for you is mega. What he has for you is major. And it's not about just having something for you, but it's like major glory that he is going to receive from you, from your story, from everything that you come out of. And I already know, like, I'm telling you, I know that the story of what he is still orchestrating for me is going to be something that is major for him. And I'm trying not to cry, Father Jesus. It's going to be something major for him. And I'm not anxious, but I will say that I'm eager to be the testament for him. I am. And God bless the day, because it's definitely going to be a beautiful situation. And I pray that for you guys as well. So don't ever think that you know, being meek and being humble and having, you know, a slow to anger, you know, way about yourself is something that's I'm gonna just say it that's soft or, you know, whatever. Like, it's a beautiful thing. It's not the norm. And you should be so pleased to be the one, or a one, that he has chosen to embody that, because that's a lot of him, you know. That's a lot of him that's being exuded. That's a lot of him that's illuminating, you know. But I have gone long and didn't mean for it to be this long, but you know, things happen. But I pray that some things that I have shared have definitely registered in your spirit, that you've gotten something from it. Check out that article. Go before Holy Spirit about this. It is very interesting. It gets deep. But next week, we're going to do a recap of seducing spirits and what we were talking about before with transparency and vulnerability in intimacy, because I am going to be, you know, taking my hiatus and having my time with him, you know. So I will definitely catch you next week, and then, like I said, we'll get it going again, probably the second Monday in May, and it's going to continue to be exciting, because nothing that God does is mediocre or boring. You know. So I pray that you have an awesome rest of your Monday. I pray that your Tuesday is awesome going into it. That's Triumphant Tuesday. So wake up with a triumphant attitude. Give God some praise as soon as your eyes open. Better yet, as soon as you wake up and you catch that breath, you know. So I am Brandy. This has been Marriage Talk Monday, a part of Kingdom Marriage. What's the purpose? And I will catch you in the next one. So you guys be blessed. All right.